What is up, guys? Welcome back. Alright, so we left off here. We left off on that little lower tube deal thing here, what it did. Today, we're knocking out the upper tube, and then hopefully if I get this upper tube finished off, we can maybe go ahead and do the upper chainstays. I do already have that material here, just needs to get bent up, and I'll show you guys you can even bend that small tube inside of that bender. It's 3/8, I think. But anyway, we're gonna get into this Lowrider content. Let's go. Top is off and she's looking less and less like her former self. Good thing. I got that off of there. I went ahead and I wrote down some measurements for where the seat tube needs to be because I want it in the same space or same place that it was. So now we're gonna notch the tube that we have over here, get it on there. All right, so here's where we're at so far. Upper tube will go on here like so. I'm gonna run the seat directly through this and just cap this end off and make it look kind of cool from the back. That way when you're seeing it, because more than likely all of this is gonna get sheet metaled in anyway, so you won't see the back. But I'd rather have the seat post coming directly out of the tube than trying to connect it to the end of the tube. All test fit just to check. That is the velour banana seat I'm gonna be running, so you kind of get an idea where we're going with this, but I needed to check to see if my seat was going to hit that point, and we got plenty of clearance and it actually looks super cool. That's just kind of held up there right now. I want to weld that in place so that it can't move. I ran that bar across and I clamped it, and then I moved it up with those clamps just to get the seat back to where I needed it to be, where I wrote it down. That's how high it needed to be. The wheel goes in there. So I'm gonna MIG that on really quick. I went ahead and I did MIG the seat on. I had some gaps, so I knew I couldn't TIG it, but all this is gonna get body worked. And like I said, we're talking show quality Lowrider of the year winner style, but on the cheap. Alright, I think before calling it a day, I'm going to bend some of these 3/8 chainstays, just because, why not? They should be pretty easy to do with this thing, but I need to get a real good bend. I'm not quite sure how I want to do it yet. I want more of a flow and then a hard bend, so I don't know how that's going to work yet. Let's find out. Hey guys, I am so sorry for the interruption. But if you could you click that subscribe button for me? Also, turn on your bell notifications. That way you catch all the content as I post it. And if you want to check out anything early, head over to my Instagram. I post things there probably quicker than you're going to see them here. Thanks, guys. so what I'm doing here is, because I gotta go with a wider wheel, I need to do some spacing on the upper chainstays. These are gonna get connected and turned, but this was the most bend I could get, and I don't really think it's enough, not for what I want. Might have to figure something out, but maybe it comes off of here. That might work. It may do what I want it to do. Come down, and then I wanted it to come down to here, but that's gonna be an issue just because that'll have to come in at an angle. But you're getting kind of the idea of what I'm going with. This will come down, it'll touch. I should have enough for both sides. I do not have enough for the bottom now because I had to use all 3 pieces. Ended up messing up my bender too. It broke a bearing, but whatever, no biggie. Just trying to keep this here. I'm gonna tack them down on the bottoms. These won't stay. Once I've got what I want from there to there, I'll go ahead and take those out, and then we'll build some support braces in the middle of it. But for tonight, I'm tired. Let's call it. Alright, good afternoon or whatever time it is where you are. I have got some more stuff came in. We got the wheel that came in, so I need to go ahead and button up this area. And once that's finished and that is tied in, I can cut the bottoms off. Tomorrow I'm gonna go pick up some more metal so I can get the bottoms finished, because I wanna put the wheel on to see how much space I'm gonna need. I don't know, like I said, it is super narrow right here. And I can widen this as much as I want. Right here, it's not attached to anything yet, so I can make that as wide as I need to. I got a 26x3 single speed that's gonna go on here. Later on, we're gonna have a wheel built for it, but I got one for mock-up right now. So let's go ahead and get this cut and attached. Thought to myself that I should probably do these upper seat stays all, not necessarily in one piece, but I should do it on the table first. So I'm going to TIG weld these together. That way I can do metal finishing, clean them up, you won't see the seams, and then get them to where they need to be, and then I can match them on both sides. So let's break open the see, attached to the bottom, come up, sit right there. It's able to clean all this area. Like I said, sheet metal is gonna run through here. It's gonna be super tricky to get this sheet metal to bend how I need it to, but I am gonna go ahead and tack this on and then grab the other side and do the other side, do the same exact thing. But you can see, all one piece now, TIG welded that nice and clean. And bam, both sides on. This is such a different kind of build than anything I'm used to. I am squeezing it together just so I can make sure that I'm getting it even on both sides, because that was kind of difficult to do. But it does look really good. This right here is where the sheet metal, I wanted to run this point right to the edge because I want the sheet metal to be able to follow all the diamond line. And like I said, this is where it's going to get difficult because it concaves right here, comes down, and then it's got to somehow turn up into here. I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet. I think it's gonna look super trick. Coming around here, up here, what we'll probably do is just run it outside and fold it, and then come back around here, and then that's where I'm gonna run a fender. I do wanna do a fender that's permanent, so something like that. It'll come and sit there like this. So that should be super cool. We'll have to do that after the wheel is on, but still pretty trick. What's up guys, new day, and I've been doing a bunch of stuff off camera. There you go. So you kind of get an idea of where we're at. Got the wheel on. I did the wheel just because I needed to see how I was supposed to get around this dude here. We got plenty of chain clearance, so that's a good thing. No chains issues. We needed to come, we're gonna have to probably do like in 3 pieces. So come out, cut it, and then come straight. That's the only way I can think to do that. Also the seat's too high for me because I want that seat to come down more, so I'm chopping it. I'm gonna redo that. Other than that, it's coming out pretty good. Everything got the support welded on here. You're not gonna see any of this because all this is gonna get sheet metaled. I've decided that the sheet metal is going to run in on the tip here, so that way it can get, you know, across here a little easier, because I had no idea how I was supposed to run it from here to here like this, and then once I got here, I don't know. I have to figure it out. But anyway, it's just trying the fender on, trying the seat on, just seeing how I can do it. Got a bunch of metal over here pre-bent, so like I was saying, it's gonna have to, you can kind of tell, can't go around that. I may not run a sprocket that big either, but figured if I want to, just to give it a little bit more torque, wired. We're not riding this. Who am I fooling? I'll never ride this thing. It'll just be a show bike. It'll look kind of cool. I would like it to be rideable if possible, but what I'm gonna be doing to it, more than likely, it'll never be ridden. It'll be just more of a piece of art. You know, taking it to lowrider shows. I really would love to, when this is done, take it to a real lowrider show. See how it stands up against the other ones. We're gonna get get the metal cut for the lower chain stays, start working that in, and kind of figure it out. go. Fat tire, 26x3 on a Lowrider. So far so good. We are hitting right there, but I didn't realize that these crank arms were bent. So that's why I've been wondering why they were so close this whole time. I look at this one here, and this one is actually bent outward. This one's coming up and inward. I don't know how that happened, but that clears. Well, chain clearance won't be an issue. A full chain clearance. There's going to be a piece going here that's going to be shielded here. Let's go get the seat and throw it on. This is strictly just to see how it's going to look. The seat post is actually going to get welded on because I want this to all stay where it goes. There we go. So the seat will come up. It's not going to sit down there. It does have a little bit of play. There we go. So it'll stay off the body. There we go. Pretty cool so far. Kind of digging that. Still got a lot of work to do. Yeah, because we're going to have to build something to come off to hold the seat in this area. I do want it low like that. And then we still got to get the fender on. Everything else seems to be good. What I'm going to do now is let all this cool down so that I can take it out of the jig, and we're going to throw the Springer fork that's on it. Go ahead, throw that on there and put a front wheel on it just to kind of see how it's sitting. This isn't the crank we're going to use. We're going to need a little bit shorter crank, because if we use that crank, we're going to hit the wall or hit the floor. So we do got to use a shorter crank. Also not using that sprocket. Got quite a few sprockets that I'm going to try. So that isn't going to be the one we use. But let me know in the comments, guys, what do you guys think of this so far? Are you enjoying this style build? I think it's pretty cool. Once this is sheet metaled in and I add the extra piece here to sheet metal that in, just got to watch for chain clearance, but I am going to try to go to the outside and close that in. That will start here, closing that in, and then I think we're going to do something cool. I got a buddy who has the ability to turn solid stock, I'm sorry. He can bend solid stock, so I'm gonna have him do some square and bend it in different directions, and that should come up and over and actually hold the seat on. Also had a cool idea of maybe something coming up like this, and then here, adding another element, but I don't know. I don't wanna get crazy. This thing's gonna weigh like 50, 60 pounds by the time I'm done. We got enough clearance though for the wheel. I wish I could have done more of a turn, but when you're doing square tube, I don't really have the ability to make a full bend turn on square tube or diamond tube. It'll kink it, but still pretty neat. You won't see any of this even under here. This all is getting filled in. Next, I'm gonna need to go and get some 16, I'm gonna need either 18 gauge or 20 gauge steel. 16 gauge is just too thick, too hard to bend. I mean, that's like what your car fenders are made out of. So I don't want to throw 16 gauge. I have quite a bit of it, but if I put 16 gauge, like I said, it's just going to be too heavy, too hard to maneuver. Going to be harder to weld though as I go thinner. So we're going to have to use the TIG, turn it way down, and try to TIG weld all that on. But like I said, looking pretty cool. I've been at this most of the day. I didn't get a lot of video footage of this just because it's just repetitious cutting and bending, and since I didn't really know what I was doing, it was super hard to video what I'm doing. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy it. We'll get back on this tomorrow. Before running up, I did just want to check just to make sure that my eyeballs, my old man eyeballs, were not fooling me. Yes, we're good to go. Smaller sprocket. I don't know if I'm going to use it. I also got a bigger one, but this would make it easier to pedal. Gives me more clearance for stuff, for activities. Yep, you guys are seeing this correctly. After putting everything, or doing everything I did, realized I couldn't get the back wheel off because of how close I did all this. Also noticed that because I'm using this old jig and it's not really made for this style bike, everything was crooked, so I cut it up. I don't know if I want to keep going or if I should start from scratch, or I don't know. But I know that I'm going to step away from it and revisit it, because I'm not going to let this go. I have parts for it. I want to do it. I just need to figure out a better way. That's all. So it's not a failure. Just need to figure out what I'm doing. Either way, guys, I will see you guys next Sunday. Like, comment, subscribe, all that, and see you later.